Me, I just don't understand. People put so much credence and credit to somebody whose job is acting.
Yeah.
Having, you know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
It's like, and so many times you hear them like they go to Africa and they want to, do this and do that and get their name here and do this and do that and go help this group and that group because of their name. It's like, why, if people put actors and actresses on such pedestals, they're acting. They didn't want to go to a job like we do. Okay? So they struggled in New York or whatever for years until somebody recognized them. And because they wanted to have fantasy life. And now we're going to follow them and listen to
on the other side of the token, this goes to what I'm saying is that with Tom Cruise, I'm so weirded out by I used to love Tom Cruise, and knowing all this weird stuff that he practices in his real life, I don't want to go see his movies because I watch him and I'm just like, he's just so weird.
Oh,
so it's sort of
he's got the dun 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 dun.
The music's cool,
dun, dun, dun,
but not him. Mission Impossible, Scientology. That's pretty cool, Scott. Maybe we should make new music.
We could.
So there's this cult. That's dubbed, it's not the name of the cult, but it's dubbed the I Am cult. So they don't really have a name for it.
I am.
It's sort of weird. It's a combination of every religion possible on the planet.
Really?
The founders are Guy and Edna Ballard, and they say while they were on a trip to the mountains in California, they met Saint Germain. And I don't know who Saint Germain is or what, but
he's a saint.
Yeah, I guess he did something. But they said that they went to a mystical place on a spiritual realm with him. Now, the cult's premise is that what they try to do is they destroy your individuality so that we're all one.
Sounds like the military, but go ahead.
Yeah. What makes it creepy is they try to manipulate the human mind into believing that they have ability to become a millionaire overnight by the power of the mind. But I'm thinking, okay, so it obviously doesn't happen, so how do they get more than 1 million followers? I have not a clue.
$1 million.
Yeah.
The idea of it.
Yeah, but then they join, and in a day or two or a week
doesn't matter.
or two,
They get warped into other ways of thinking and get drawn a little further, and you've got blockages. You've got the world. The conscience of the flesh is eating away at your soul. You've got to break down. You must fast for 6 weeks.
Oh, my.
I mean, they'll come up with all sorts of junk.
That's true.
And then people were like, yes.
Or they leave little dollar bills under their pillow and say,
look,
see, it's coming, it's forming.
It might take a while.
But it started. I told you.
I stole that one from the Tooth Fairy. But hey,
That's what I was thinking. That's funny. Well, the founders claim that this guy, his name's Guy Ballard. The founders claim
this guy's name's named Guy.
Yeah, the guy's name is Guy. That'd be like a chick's name is Chick. But the guy's name is Guy.
You don't do that.
No,
Chicks don't name themselves Chick.
I know, but that would be neat. This is my daughter.
In your
Chick.
world. Your vocabulary would become even shorter then.
The founders claim that he was a direct descendant of William Shakespeare, Rasputin, and Merlin. So,
Merlin, the magician?
Yeah. So just based off these 3 famous icons, people stay with him because they think he's got some kind of pull.
There you go again.
Yeah, based off somebody.
I mean, suppose we do so well in this podcast after a long period of time that we end up with thousands upon thousands upon thousands of listeners. It could happen. Mm-hmm. There's other podcasts that have these kind of listeners. Is that going to make us some sort of iconic thing that we can start our own religion?
What about
We're following Scott and Heidi.
What about in Galaxy Quest? Remember?
That's a true story.
Yeah. And those little guys, take me to your leader. You know? You know what I'm talking about? And they watch
That's one of your favorite films, and that's not even a joke.
It is. It's so cute. Yeah. And they watch TV.
Take me to your leader.
And it's like, no, it's the Tool Time guy. That's such a good movie. But they watch. You're gonna do the cracking up thing. So they're watching.
You know how many times you've maybe watched that?
Oh my gosh, a lot. Probably as much as you watch. See, yeah, you know it too.
You do it better.
Anyways, so they watch these TV shows and they think they're real, and then they worship them, and it happens.
That's society.
Yeah, and I guess I don't know. Well, there's an ongoing cult. This story blew my mind. Okay, it's going
your mind
on.
Can't really be blown. It's the thing that'll get you when you get your picture on the cover of the Rolling
That's a cool song. Okay.
Rolling
No,
Stone,
we're going to do the cult.
What?
Shh, listen. So, ongoing cult, right?
See how many of you know that song, and then
It's a
go
good
ahead and tell us the name in an email, and then we'll know where all the cool people really are.
Give you a shout out for it.
This is how me and Heidi knew. And speaking of which, it's probably at the end.
What?
And we'll mention that. But anyways, that was one way we knew we were like soulmates.
Because we both knew
knew that song, and we knew every word of that song like nobody knows that song.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah, so many people knew that song we started.
Can I go on with the cults?
I know.
You're like all Wolfman Jack on me.
You got me off track.
No, I was just telling the stats, and you got all singing and stuff.
No, I was just trying
So this cult is ongoing. Over the years, there have been numerous armed standoffs between law enforcement and a fanatical cult. And this one ends in violence because, believe it or not, one of these standoffs, 15 years so far. It's in Trinidad, Texas. Okay? So check this out. So there's this guy named John Joe Gray, and he's like this extremist militant, and he owns this, or has this sect called the Embassy of Heaven Church. And it's, they reject government and authority. But in 1999, Gray got indicted for assaulting a state trooper. He doesn't come to court. And when they come to get him, he barricades himself behind a padlock gate of his 47-acre wooden ranch, okay? He refuses to leave the property, and then he threatens violence against any trespassers. But here's the thing is, at the time, at least, that they know of, 15 people, like his family members and followers, are behind those gates. And since that day, no one has come out. It has been a 15-year standoff. And the reason that they don't want to go in is because they're afraid he's just going to kill everybody. So they're just leaving him be.
Or they know enough to know that they're alive.
They don't know anything because here's part of the thing is there's this...
Think about that. 15 years, these people haven't been seen.
Yeah. I'm sure they know that he's there for sure, but they don't know.
How do they know he hasn't killed all of them?
I don't know. But part of the unsolved mystery is that there's 2 missing children. Because this guy, Gray, he had a married daughter named Lisa, and she had 2 sons. Well, her husband sort of got fed up with the whole cult, and he filed for a divorce, and he was actually granted custody. But his wife doesn't show up for the divorce hearings. So he claims that the daughter and the 2 grandkids are with their dad, the grandpa. But this dad, Gray, he's saying that, no, they're not here. Well, there's been no confirmed sightings of them for 16 years. So obviously they're in there. Are they dead? Are they alive? I don't know. But these cops, there must be proof, some kind of proof that there's people in there besides this guy. Because they would go in and get him. So I'm going to actually do more research on this. I guess
that and the thought is, look, the guy is only really wanted for one thing. He didn't show up to court. And it's like, you don't want this to turn into like the Texas thing and have all these people. But now this dad doesn't have
his 2 little kids. And the guy's saying, no, they're not here, and there's no proof, but the daughter was all into the cult. Boy. It's sad. It's really, really, yeah. So, even though there's a warrant for his arrest, they're not going to venture into the property because they're afraid the situation could escalate into this violent bloodbath.
Yeah.
But there are characteristics of cults and religion. So there's a difference. Like with a cult, there's usually one leader. And he's real secretive and sort of shifty, but in religion, usually have
a pastor or something like that.
Yeah, but he's open. His life is open. It's not like he's hidden or whatever. In a cult, they have smaller amounts of people, usually, most of the time, than big denominations. And they have like these beliefs that are just sort of mishmash or unknown. But in a religion, it's more mainstream.
Yeah. Yeah, they like to in cults too. You get where they'll single out individuals.
Yep.
Within the group, where religion tries to work with the family and work with a group and make them everybody.
Yeah, bring everybody in and let's all do stuff together. Yeah.
Let's just love Kumbaya.
Cults they live together and they commune together most of the time, but in religion, it's separate.
Yeah.
They're all individual
lives.
Now, in a cult, there's a large percentage that they give up their life, time, money, and they give it to the sect. But church...
For church, it's an option.
It's an option.
It should be an option, too. You should know what you're doing.
It's between you and God.
It's between you and God.
Yeah. And it's tax refundable, so unlike a cult.
I bet that'll change in time.
Oh, I'm sure.
I bet that's going to come around pretty darn quick, too.
And in a cult, there's isolation, withdrawal from family and friends, but not religion at all. They want you to bring them. They want to be part of it. Most, I don't know. There's some weird stuff out there.
But, I also understand where people can confuse the two.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Because, you read the Bible, you'll find out where it talks about being separate from things and world. It doesn't tell you to isolate yourself.
Right.
But to be separate from the world in some of the ways that they're doing. People could say, well, that's a call to action.
No, but you got to read the whole thing.
You got to read the whole thing and understand what we're talking about. Yeah.
And that's what these leaders, these cult leaders do, is they pick and choose what works for them. They come up with their own thing, and people are so engaged by them and either overworked or drugs are involved or lured in by sex. So they use so many techniques. And then, they use drugs, sex, manipulation, abuse, threats, violence. And usually they don't have a known or recognized doctrine, like we talked about, all different stuff sort of brought together. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of different types of...
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
So there were a lot more cults that I could have done, but these were the ones that I found more interesting. But I am going to do a little more on that Texas one, just to see what's up with that. It's like...
Yeah.
It's neat to hear.
We should go down there.
Talk to him, interview him, do live. Yeah. Talk Supernatural live from Texas.
Hello? Hello?
Take me to your leader.
Weeder. Weeder. To your weeder.
All right, so next week, our show is going to be a little different. We get so many emails, and I don't get back to everybody, and I feel bad, and then sometimes people will write me 2 or 3 times,
It's tough, yeah. We get a lot, and unfortunately, we do have to kind of pick and choose which ones we reply to.
And we got a lot of great stuff.
We can't reply to them all.
I wouldn't do anything all day.
We may not eat, sleep again.
So next week, what we're going to do is we are going to have a show where we're going to talk about a couple little ongoing paranormal news stories that are going on.
Ongoing ones. Things are going on right now.
You're making fun of me.
No.
And then we are going to answer your emails and your questions.
You know what we could do?
What, Sky?
Next week we could answer some of the emails and questions that our people email in. Why don't we do that?
That's a great idea.
Excellent idea.
So if you're listening to this and you have a question for us, if it's goofy, it's silly, if it's about our show, if it's about us, if it's about our work and anything spiritually related, paranormally related, tweet us or email us.
What? They could tweet us. They could email us. What else could they do?
Well, first, let's do email. TalkSupernatural.
Email. TalkSupernatural.
At gmail.com.
Yo, at gmail.com, dog.
You can tweet us. At TSR Parapod. Are you right, honey? And you can ask us... Shh.
What?
Quiet.
That was like 80 slaps. I'm not going to have some sort of thing wrong on my leg now.
Yeah. Too bad.
I can't feel it. It's numb.
So if you have any questions or comments, or stuff for the next week's show,
why do you always
email us
the whole time?
And we want to thank you guys for listening. At least I do. Scott just wants to talk and rip on me.
I'm not ripping on you.
I want to thank you guys. Thank you for putting up with
them.
What
are you talking about?
And you know what? If you're not already, follow us on Spreaker. You can download episodes there, past episodes. And you get notifications in your email when we're broadcasting.
Notifications.
You can head over to our Facebook page tomorrow. I'm going to have
Facebook, brother. Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm going to have pictures up.
Tomorrow.
Of what we talked about.
Not yesterday.
Tonight.
Unless it's the day after, then it would be yesterday. So if Sunday you're looking at it, then it would actually been yesterday because that will be Saturday. But if it's Friday, then it'll be tomorrow.
Our Facebook page is...
That is Central Time.
You done?
Yes, I'm helping.
No, you're not helping because they don't even know where to go because they're listening to you.
Where?
Talk Supernatural Radio.
Talk Supernatural Radio on Facebook. You happy? It's been said twice.
Pictures, links, broadcasts.
Wait. Pictures, links, and broadcasts.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm trying to help you. Not everybody speaks squirrel,
Thanks so much for listening, you guys.
Why are you laughing?
This world's a tortured place to be. So many things to torment me. And as I stumble down this road, it takes a toll. I need an intervention. But I can see it coming. Some things just can't be explained.
And that's all, folks.